It's not just scientists and researchers who make interesting discoveries. Every year, people from all across the planet stumble across fascinating artifacts, some of which are worth a small fortune. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be taking a look at these 3 interesting discoveries. Grandson finds old safe and treasure. Sometimes people get lucky and manage to come into a lot of money, whether through inheritance from an unknown family member, a winning lottery ticket, or stumbling upon bags of money in their home. As unlikely as the latter is, one Reddit user found thousands of dollars hidden inside a wall. The Redditor, vSky, was cleaning out their grandparents' old home 4 years after their grandmother passed away. Situated on about 45 acres of land, vSky's grandparents built their home and lived there for 50 years. They built multiple additions to their property throughout their life, totaling 8 different sheds and garages. A few years after the grandparents' death, their family decided to clear the house out, remodel it, and put it up for sale. They cleaned the last garage when vSky's brother accidentally knocked into the wall and noticed that it sounded hollow. The family was suspicious, so they collectively agreed to tear the wall down to see if anything was behind it. They were all shocked to find a massive blue safe, weighing about 1,500 to 2,000 pounds. It was old, beat up, and rusting, but still in working order and locked. The family spent some time trying to guess the combination, but to no avail. They slowly became exasperated and were just about to call a professional locksmith to crack it when vSky looked up at the ceiling and noticed a number written on one of the rafters. They found a single number written on the ceiling of every garage, for a total of 8 numbers. It took them some time to figure out the correct sequence of the code, but eventually they managed to open the safe. Once inside, they found 2 guns, a Winchester 30-30 and a 410 shotgun. They also found paper bills and treasury notes dating back to the 1910s pre-Prohibition era. Surprisingly, the safe contained a deed to a property that the family didn't even know about. The most incredible bounty they discovered, though, was 3 heavy cloth bags. Inside the bags were about 800 silver coins, mostly silver dollars. The coins dated back over a century, all the way to the late 1800s to the late 1900s. vSky's family went and had them appraised, revealing that their estimated worth is about $15,000. They were completely shocked with this discovery, especially since there was no mention of this in the grandparents' will, and it was so elaborately staged. vSky felt like a treasure hunter for the day and ended up finding a huge bounty. The Haunted Lemp Mansion, St. Louis, Missouri. The Lemp Mansion is a late 1800s historical house situated in Benton Park, St. Louis, Missouri. It is said to be haunted by the Lemp family members who took their own lives within the home. Their ghosts remain trapped there and have been known to interact with visitors. The Lemp family earned their money through the Lemp Brewery, which was established in 1840. The house was built in 1890 and underwent renovations in 1911, 9 years before Lemp Brewery was acquired by another company which ended up shutting down its own complex. The mansion remained in the family until 1949. Johann Adam Lemp was the patriarch of the family, having moved from Germany in 1836 and settled in St. Louis. He spent some time as a grocer before focusing on his company Western Brewery, becoming incredibly popular with the increasing German population and creating the first German lager in America. He utilized natural caves to store his beer, which the mansion and brewery were later built on top of. His son, William J. Lemp, worked at Western Brewery for some time after graduation before entering a partnership with another brewer. After his father died in 1862, William returned to the family company as the sole owner and operator. He transformed it into the largest brewery in St. Louis, capitalized on refrigeration, and soon began selling it across the nation and then the world. In 1892, he changed the name to William J. Lemp Brewing Co., with him as the president. His first son, William Jr., as the vice president and son Louis as the superintendent. William Sr. had many sons, but wanted his fourth, Frederick, to take over the business. His favourite son, unfortunately, had feeble health and died of heart failure at 28 years old. William Sr. was devastated and entered a depressive state, becoming very anxious and withdrawn. The next month, his best friend Frederick Pabst died, further crushing his emotional well-being. On February 13, 1904, 2 months after his son's death, William Sr. took his own life. His son William Jr. took over the company and had a dismal end to his life. He lived a playboy lifestyle, cheating on his wife and having an illegitimate son born with Down syndrome, whom he locked away into the attic and never revealed to the public. William Jr. eventually divorced his wife but lost custody of their legitimate son and was only granted visitation rights. Once Prohibition began in the 1920s, the brewery took a massive hit and business slowed down. The family members were wealthy, so they saw no reason to keep it going. It was eventually forced to shut down, and its trademarks were sold to another company. On December 29, 1922, after struggling for so long, William Jr. took his own life. William Sr.'s third son, Charles, was the last lemp member to live in the home, having moved in 1929. He never married and only lived with a married servant couple, dog, and brother's illegitimate son. The boy had grown up locked away in the house and ignored by his father. Due to his Down syndrome, he was nicknamed the Monkey Face Boy. He eventually also passed away inside the home. Charles lived a reclusive life and developed odd habits due to his obsessive-compulsive disorder. In May 1949, he shot his dog and then himself in the head, leaving behind a note that said not to blame anyone but himself for his death. His sister, Elsa Lemp Wright, also had shot herself in the head while in bed, although people believe her husband took her life, and the second brother, Louis, died earlier from health issues. The youngest son was the last to pass away at age 90, without a wife or children, effectively ending the Lemp family line. The mansion was turned into offices, used as a boarding house, and now operates as a restaurant and bed and breakfast. Ever since the Lemp family passed away, visitors and homeowners have experienced strange paranormal phenomena, such as ghostly knockings and phantom footsteps. The Lemp mansion was featured in a Ghost Hunters episode in 2010, and was listed amongst America's 9 most haunted houses in 1980. The home is believed to be haunted by the family members that passed away in the home. Visitors have heard kicking on the office door where William Sr. took his life, and children's toys have moved around by themselves in the attic. Staff at the restaurant say they constantly experience apparitions, strange sounds, the feeling of being watched, and even vanishing tools and supplies. People have even claimed to have seen the monkey face boy from the windows, still watching the outside world from his jail. McPike Mansion, America's famous haunted house. Also known as Mount Lookout, the McPike Mansion was built in 1869 on 15 acres of land in Alton, Illinois. It is situated on one of the highest points in the area, giving it the name Mount Lookout. This historic mansion is one of the most notoriously haunted homes in the entire Midwest and has over 150 years of spooky stories from visitors. Henry Guest McPike was mayor of Alton and a businessman in the real estate industry. He additionally served as a librarian for the Alton Southern Illinois Horticultural Society. He passed away in 1910, but his family remained in the home until 1936. Throughout the years, the mansion changed ownership a few times. Paul Leitchinger turned it into a boarding house in the early 1940s when the first paranormal activities were reported. The people living there experienced strange happenings, such as children laughing and playing despite no children present. In 1980, the home was listed on the National Register of Historic Places but remained empty for nearly 15 years before a couple purchased it in 1994 and restored it. One day, the wife was working in the front garden when she locked eyes with a man standing at one of the windows. He quickly disappeared, but she found a picture of Paul Leitchinger, who was wearing the same clothes. The couple now hosts tours, campouts, and psychic sessions in the house to raise funds for restoration. Visitors claim they have experienced paranormal activity like strange mists and orbs, phantom touches, and metal doors moving independently. Lights flicker, figures can be seen in the windows of photos when the photographer didn't see them, and apparitions have even been spotted. There is apparently strong energy in the wine cellar reminiscent of the original owner Henry Guest McPike. Others had witnessed ghosts of Native Americans, believing the hauntings to have originated before McPike even built the house. McPike Mansion is one of the most famous haunted homes in the United States and has appeared on an episode of Ghost Adventures in 2019, Scariest Places on Earth, Fact or Faked Paranormal Files, and Ghost Lab. But what do you make of these interesting homes? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.